Good morning and welcome to a new update in this beautiful world where Russia is about to enter Ukraine. We've also got Corona. We've got some Dutch stuff with the voice coming in the news here. We've got a Bitcoin which is dropping down, and we've got Turkey who wants to change their name because of Turkey. It is a beautiful world and I'm happy to be living in 2022. It's even better than 2021, and although the world is better, the markets are not going up yet, and that's what we're going to discuss in this update. We're going to look at what Bitcoin has been doing on the lower and higher time frames. Yesterday we have been discussing this topic, so today we're going to do that one more time. Before we're going to continue, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel and that you like this update. It's free of charge. It helps me a lot to grow this audience and to grow this channel, which we're going to do during this year. Also make sure that you're following me on Twitter and Instagram, to other platforms where I'm sharing my day-to-day life tasks or just what I'm doing, and also my view on the markets. And today we're going to do a new TV show, which is Bulls and Bears Season 2, Episode 1, which will be about the bull market of Bitcoin, of course. So yesterday, let's rewind. We discussed a few scenarios yesterday, in which 42.4 to 42.7 were super important to hold. After the US Open, we ran up, and then we started to nosedive again as the US equities also started to drop down. So that dropped down, and we didn't really reclaim 43.5. That dropped down beneath 42.4. I stated most likely we're going to nuke because we're dropping back in the range, and then it starts to nosedive to the other side and most likely even accelerates further because of the impact of such a drop. And that is actually what has been taking place, and through that the sentiment or the actual emotional behavior on social media has increased towards anger, panic, everything surrounded by that. But actually we are back into that range that we made, which is that green zone to find some support on, which is that crucial level that I've been claiming for a while, and which I've marked in the other scenario if we were not able to drop, or if we were not able to reclaim 42.4. So let's dive into the charts to see what we're having right now on the higher time frames, and let's head towards them to discuss the potential scenarios of Bitcoin. So when we're looking at the higher time frames, the structure is still the same, right? Yes. The market is still dropping down, in which we can find some conclusions. First of all, we had a rejection at 44. I was assuming we were going to run towards 46 though, but we didn't. We rejected at 44. We started rejecting crucial levels on the lower time frames, which you'll be seeing in a little bit, and even started to nuke further. And yesterday was that day. We dropped all the way back towards this crucial level that we've got here, which is essentially the level that I want to see sustain, and which we were marking previously too. And I think quite fast now Bitcoin has to reclaim 41. So let's get towards the actual point of this video. We drop back, we drop towards the next level, which is this green zone which we have marked previously. What does that mean for your swing trading positions or for your strategy? It doesn't really change too much. You're still positioning yourself well, and the trade hasn't invalidated if you were looking for one. Because if you're buying between, let's say, 39 to 42, the invalidation is beneath this green zone. So nothing really has changed. If you're into altcoins only, you've had a rough day, given the fact that altcoins are also dropping down a little bit more. So that is rough for yourself. But if you're looking to swing trade, the analysis didn't change. Yes, we've made a new low, which was likely going to happen after that nuke below 42.4. But that doesn't mean that the scenario that you were making for yourself with the swing trading has adjusted. So higher time frame based, we're currently in that area of support. In that case, I clearly want to see 40.7 to 41 being reclaimed quite fast. But given the fact that we've had this drop, we can finally start creating ourselves a bullish divergence, as this drop down is bringing the RSI into the area to be able to make one. And if we are looking at the lower time frames, we can find some nice similarities which we were discussing previously too. First of all, this is the scenario that played out. We were assuming that if we broke above this level, we were going to consolidate for a little while and then start accelerating if we crack 43.5. However, 43.5 didn't break. We nuked back in the range. I was assuming that we were retesting the other side of the range, which is 41, and we even started dropping down even more given the fact that it starts to accelerate. And where did we see that happening before? Yes, we've seen that happening on and on in the previous period as well, in which we had this price action here too. We started to make a run back up earlier in December, started to make a run, tested, didn't hold, tested back on support and started to nuke south, in which we created a slow or lower time frame bottoming construction here as well. Similarly, we have been testing support many times in the previous run, started to nuke south and started to create a structure of bottoming here for a while before we rejected harshly at 43.5 and started to nuke. So this move is very comparable to this move or to this one, right? We've had a pretty high volume candle here too, which is even higher than this nuke and which is comparable to the nuke that we've had here. And actually, during that volume, the price relatively did remain calm. Let's put it that way. Given the fact that the impulse here and here was a similar volume candle, but nuked way deeper than what we're doing right now, meaning that buy orders are stacked in this region and that people are still interested at this point, although the price is still down. I agree on that point, right? So what should we be looking at? Well, we've got this green zone that I've marked here, so let's make it the right one, in which we currently are looking at this zone that we've got here, right? That is the crucial area for me still, and I've marked that previously, in which that is the zone that I'm currently most interested in to see how we're going to react. Now, we've also got this area at 40.7 and 41k. That is going to be turned red, given the fact that that is the range low which we lost, and which we are going to need to break through in order to have any reversal happening at this point. So, also, options expiry is happening again, and that is always giving volatility to the markets, in which we are currently seeing the exact same. So, a short-term conclusion would be that we are getting a weaker move south. That means that if you look at those downwards movements, these are quite volatile, right? The expansion is quite heavy, but this one is less heavy than this one, and this one is getting less heavy than that one, which shows that potentially the buyers are getting momentum back into the markets and the sellers are losing their actual momentum. But that's still a very early conclusion to make. The conclusion to make is that we've lost 40.7 and we have to crack through that one again. And if we do, then this entire move here is going to be a fake out and we're going to test 46. So what should you do? Like, it's beautiful to analyze or to make an analysis about the markets at this point. If I was looking for positions, I would be buying here. I would be buying in this green zone, and I've been buying earlier already, but if you are not in position at this stage, I would be buying at this stage. Potentially short at 40.7, but 40.7 is a tricky one given that that is the crucial level, and if we break through it, acceleration is going to happen. But if we reject, which I do not, I think that if we get to 40.7, we are going to bounce back through it quite fast. So in that case, there's two ways that we're going to react at 40.7. We get a retest, test low again, and then we reverse quite fast with that bullish divergence that I've discussed previously. So I would not be chasing a close at 40.7. I think that you might want to de-risk at that point, but overall, especially if we're looking at the price action of Bitcoin through the on-chain analysis as well, I think you want to combine everything and conclude that you'd rather want to long. So that is what I want to say at this point. I think you should be looking at longs. And I actually, as a matter of fact, you should not be looking at longs on Bitcoin only, but I think you should be looking at a few layer ones which are doing fine. DeFi as well. Right now is that sweet spot that we were looking at. That was also with the bounce at 40k, but that is what I would arguably doing. If we lose beneath, or if we drop beneath this green zone, that is a shit show. Then we're going to test 30k, but it feels like we, in the coming days or weeks, we're going to get into a phase where we are very comparable to what we had in May and June. Like this nuke starts to look like any of those nukes that we've had previously too, right? So we've had a period of sideways consolidation in June. We've had this breakdown up. We had a crash happening to take the actual low. We make a bounce back up, might be even towards 41.5, etc. And then we do not flip 40.7. Retest low, and then we start reversing. That is what I assume we currently are at. So, conclusion, I think you should long. 40.7 is crucial. We are creating a bullish divergence, and I think that I'm making a new update later today to describe it even more. Make sure to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Keep smiling, and I'll see you again later. Bye.